So now we will turn to each of the qualifying activities, and the first qualifying activity that we will be looking at will be the manufacturing of goods or materials. So manufacturing itself covers a broad spectrum of activities, which can be the creation, production, improvement, or assembly of products and materials. Manufacturing itself will be relevant to industries where physical products are produced, for example, automotive, textile, electronics, food, pharmaceuticals, and so on. Manufacturing as an activity can include all the activities from the conception of a product to the finished product itself. And importantly, manufacturing is not only for new goods, it can also be the improvement or assembly of existing components. There are instances where activities can be treated as ancillary to the qualifying activity of manufacturing of goods or materials on the basis that they naturally and integrally complement the main qualifying activity. This could be where post-sale activities are carried out, such as installation, warranties, maintenance for the goods or materials which are manufactured. This could also be customer support, such as those provided for with warranties and for customer queries. Having said that, this does not necessarily mean that any activity that is ancillary to the qualifying activity of manufacturing of goods or materials will be treated as a qualifying activity in its own right if it is performed on a standalone basis. And it's important to note that manufacturing does not include repairs. Repairs are typically classified as a service, and the act of repairing involves restoring or fixing existing products to their original or functional state, rather than creating a new product which would be considered as manufacturing. So, given that the qualifying activity concerns goods, we need to consider what is the meaning of goods in the context of manufacturing. Well, goods are considered as tangible items or products that are produced or manufactured for sale or use. And examples could include clothing, furniture, or cars. And this is contrasted with intangibles, such as software that can be sold separately from a physical asset. Intangibles are not included in the definition of goods for the purposes of this qualifying activity. So the creation of software, ERPs, automation tools will not be considered as a good for this activity. The only instance where intangibles may fall within the scope of goods is where software is embedded in hardware. And this would be considered as goods on the basis that it involves a physical product which incorporates an intangible element. So this would be where the software has been integrated into the physical product to the point where they function as a single unit and are sold as a single unit. Examples could be a phone or a games console, which are hardware devices which come with pre-installed software. And these will be considered as goods because they are tangible products in their own rights. Moving on now to types of manufacturing. And this is applicable across different sectors and industries, which can be broadly categorized as contract or toll manufacturing, and also full-fledged manufacturing. So, firstly, in the case of contract manufacturing, a manufacturing company will enter into a contract with a person and manufactures products for and on behalf of that person. In the case of toll manufacturing, the contractor would typically supply the manufacturing company with the necessary raw materials, designs, and product specifications. Now, turning to full-fledged manufacturing, the manufacturing company will manufacture products in its own name and at its own risk, and is normally responsible for procuring the necessary raw materials also. It can sell the manufactured products or materials to related party distributors or third party distributors. An important point to note is that if a manufacturer sells goods or materials to a natural person, it would be treated as an excluded activity and not a qualifying activity. And a further point to note, goods or materials which are manufactured in the UAE do not need to pass through a designated zone. However, if a manufacturer is involved in the distribution of those goods or materials, as a full-fledged manufacturer may be, its distribution activities are required to be conducted in or from a designated zone in order for it to be a qualifying activity. Now let's turn to an example on the manufacturing of goods or materials. So in this example, we have CLLC, a free zone person. And CLLC is a full-fledged manufacturer who also does toll manufacturing. C sells the cups it manufactures to ALLC, that is a non-free zone person, on a toll manufacturing basis, and ALLC in this example uses the cups itself. The second customer is RLLC, who is a distributor and resells the cups to third parties. And the third customer is Mr. H, who is a natural person. For the cups manufactured for ALLC on a toll manufacturer basis, it will be considered as a qualifying activity. For the cups manufactured for RLLC on a full-fledged manufacturer basis, it will be a qualifying activity also, as it is sold to a third-party distributor. However, the cups manufactured here for Mr. H for a natural person will be considered as an excluded activity on the basis that Mr. H is a natural person.